Valparaiso University football is underwritten by the following. Specializing in sports medicine, the Valparaiso Orthopedic Clinic continues their strong
victory over Aurora University. We're welcoming standout tailback Ozzie Young, Sports Illustrated's Player of the Week just 2 weeks ago, and we'll preview the season finale against Kentucky Wesleyan. Along with head coach Tom Horne. Hello, everybody. This is Todd Eichow. And coach, obviously pleased with the victory, although there were a number of things which happened on Saturday which I know did not please you.
Well, again, say we had too many turnovers. Didn't take good care of the football. We played in the rain earlier against Butler and did a good job, and we didn't do a good job Saturday. We have to get more focused in regards to taking care of the football on offense.
Okay, and I know the weather conditions were a factor, but you did have a game under similar conditions early in the year against Butler where you didn't turn it over at all.
Absolutely. We need to take care of the football. We've got to do that.
Okay, and really the early portion of this game kind of let us feel how the game was going to go. A lot of turnovers, and as we roll the videotape, we'll see the Crusaders were moving on the opening drive until a turnover, right, Coach?
Yeah. First situation
quarterback draw?
Yeah, quarterback draw with Nick. Nick had 77 yards rushing on Saturday, over 200 total yards. Did a good job for us in a lot of ways, and in some ways didn't do a great job.
Okay, so Browder picks up 15. Crusaders out near midfield on the opening drive, and then he fumbled. Looked like Nate Bobeck did get the handoff, trying to go off the left side, and the ball popped out.
Yeah, Nate came out, said he got the football fine on the handoff. He was struggling for an extra yard, and just as he was trying to struggle, the guy's helmet hit the football and it popped out.
And here they come on the second play. Fullback Dixon, he ran hard on Saturday, picks up 27 yards, and we're only about 90 seconds in, and here they are knocking on the door just like Dayton a week ago.
Yeah, we forgot some of our option responsibility rules there the first series or so, and then got in tune to it and didn't have a problem with it the rest of the day.
They kick a field goal, but then they take it off the board because the Crusaders got called for roughing the holder. That gave them a first and goal at the 5, and then Dixon took it in.
Again, another option dive there for the touchdown.
So 5 yards, and here we are just a couple minutes in, and this looked like last week, an early turnover, and then the touchdown. I know that had to be a concern because you had to come in feeling like this was a ball game you should win and probably win handily.
Oh, absolutely. We were inside the 1-yard line 4 times in the game Saturday and didn't get any points out of it. And we've never had that problem this year, so that was a new thing.
Crusaders put together a real nice drive here. You'll see Nick Browder on the roll, break a tackle, pick up 9 in the first down to the 35-yard line. And on 4th down, you open up a nice hole off the right side, and Nate Bobeck picks up about 6 yards.
4th and 1, big play for Nady there to get the first down for us, get this drive alive.
Come out now on 3rd and 6, and Scott Heinrichs has become really a favorite third down receiver for Nick Browder.
Scotty Heinrichs really become a big play receiver for us. Has done a great job this year. I think he came in focused in the offseason and wanted to be that kind of a receiver coming into the season.
3rd and goal from the 2, and Nick Browder spikes it on over the goal line. It took a while. Now you see the beanbag thrown down.
A beanbag
discussion.
Yeah, a beanbag thrown down means it's a fumble, and we can clearly see that the ground causes the fumble, which can't happen.
And the ball was in the end zone.
The ball was already in the end zone on the ground, which means it already broke the plane before it even got to the ground.
So the touchdown signal there. It took a while, some anxious moments, but the touchdown and then the line drive extra point. We've seen that a few times. Billy Duke adds it, and midway through the first quarter, we're tied at 7.
Seems like some of the biggest adventures we've had this season is on extra points.
Here's a great play. Screen pass left side, and once Ozzie gets in the open, you see the great speed, and he does get caught at about the 4-yard line.
I think the guy had the angle on him, and I don't think he got caught from behind. But the guy, you see the wide angle film, took off from the other hash, saw it happening, and actually was very smart in taking the angle.
And it turned out to be big because Crusaders do not get it in. 4th and goal, and Ozzie stopped going off right tackle. We move to the second quarter.
They roughed the punter there, Todd.
And this is a key play, like the roughing the punter on Dan Kepke, which gave the Crusaders 15. And then they would add 10 yards on the next play as Ozzie goes off the left side, picks up a first down. That was actually on a 2nd down, and then on a 2nd and 4, actually on the very next play, we're going to see the pass to Ozzie on the right sidelines. And we're going to see, even though he's interfered with, he does a great job of coming down with the football.
Good catch. They were holding his jersey. Some people trying to stop Ozzie that way. Grab a hold of his jersey, slow him down a little bit.
2nd and goal. Nate Bobeck gets into the end zone, and the Crusaders finally take the lead. Took a while, but finally on top.
Well, Nate Bobeck's a junior. That's his first VU touchdown, so it's an exciting moment for him.
30-yard extra point after a hold, and that one got through, 14-7.
Yeah, Darren Rodriguez, they called him for holding there on the right wing spot there. He's in that spot. That's where Trevor Bell used to be. Trevor's injured. Hopefully he'll be back this week.
Big rush from John Harrington and forces the incomplete pass. On 3rd and long, Crusaders got good field position. And nice catch by Darren Rodriguez on the out pass and a pickup of 11 yards. Then we're going to see Darren Rodriguez on the very next play, Coach. Break one for 47 yards on the counter. Shows some speed himself, turns it on. This 47-yard play, unfortunately, is called back.
Great hustle by Ozzie. They're running from behind to make a block for him. Yeah, it was called back for holding.
Now they break a big one. Slant in pass. Hancock to Hurley, 47 yards. And their biggest play of the day by far.
Well, they had 148 total yards in the day, and that was 1/3 of the yards right there.
Excellent play by Josh Burning on 3rd and 5. Shuts down the option. That's their tiny running back, Medina. Forces the field goal. Draper comes on, and from the near hash, nice kick, knocks one through from 32 yards.
Makes it a 14-10 ball game. Nearing the end of the 2nd quarter. We're trying to get a 2-minute offense going here so we can get down the field. We go double tights on them here, and they didn't know how to cover option, except that we pitched the ball when we shoot them there. Should not have.
Next pitch is knocked down and recovered by Aurora. They come down, move the ball downfield, and then Saul Shaheed makes a big play. Got help from John Harrington for a loss of 2 on 2nd down. The Crusaders would eventually shut them down, and here we are in the final seconds of the half, a sack by John Paliak.
Another sack for John, the big defensive end from Hobart. Great job by him, senior, playing his last game this Saturday.
And Crusaders take a 14-10 lead into the locker room. And, Coach, I know you felt going into this ball game, this was a team you should be up by more than 4 points at half, but had some mistakes, right?
Yeah, and our players were saying it, too, that we're playing a team that we should be doing better against than we're executing right now. And they talked about it at halftime, rising up and getting going.
Crusaders defense really took over in the 2nd half. In the 2nd half, actually, we saw a lot of turnovers. We'll show you the turnovers, we'll show you the points, and we'll show you how the game ended up when we return after this timeout on Valparaiso University football.
Valparaiso University football is underwritten by the following. First National Bank of Valparaiso, with 13 offices throughout Porter County, working hard to meet the needs of the community. First National Bank of Valparaiso offers simple fixed-rate car loans with fast, personal, pre-approved service. First National Bank of Valparaiso, strengthening their commitment to Porter County. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender. Finley Construction, serving the building needs of commercial and residential properties throughout Northwest Indiana. Finley specializes in designing and building your new construction, remodeling, addition, and restoration projects. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Finley Construction, 462-2726.
Mike's Sporting Goods, your team sports professional. Mike's has NFL and college team crews and jackets from Starter, Russell, and others. A great selection and Mike's great value. For your team sport needs, Mike's has it. Shoes from Nike, Reebok, Converse, plus uniforms, trophies, custom screen printing, school jackets, equipment, and more. Mike's Sporting Goods, Maryville, Crown Point, Hobart, and Michigan City.
And by the financial support of viewers like you.
All right, Coach, 2nd half, and the defense really took it upon themselves to win this football game for you. The defense played as well as could be asked. They only had about 20 total yards in the 2nd half and turned the ball over 5 times.
First half, we turned the ball over a lot in halftime. They had no turnovers. I was wondering if this is just going to be one of those days where it's not our day, or are the conditions going to catch up with them, and they did in the second half.
Okay, Shane Snyder picked up 2 more interceptions on Saturday. First one came in the very early portion of the second half, and Coach good pressure up front and not a very good pass, and of course Shane there to make the pick.
And nice tackle by Jeff Seymour there on Shane Snyder.
That would be his 7th interception in the last 7 games, and he'll actually get one more on the final play of the game. Crusaders come out. Next play, though, Coach Nick Browder on the option, has good yardage, and then pops it up.
Yeah, normally Nick puts a move on somebody and gets around him, but he tried to run that guy over. I got to talk to him. Are you lifting weights in the off-season or avoiding it? One of the other 2 things there.
Good play by Jeff Seymour to stop the draw. That allowed the Crusaders to get the ball back, and a nice pass on the out to Doug Holack, who picks up 17 and moves into 4th place on the Crusaders' all-time receiving yardage list.
Congratulations to Doug. Did a good job against 2 deep coverage there, just fading and sitting in the open area.
But here we go. Next play, fumbled snap, Coach. Another turnover. There were 10 second-half turnovers in all, and Aurora pounces on that one, and here they are knocking on the door until a great play by Josh Burnham.
Josh had another solid game on Saturday. Really coming into his own as an inside linebacker, doing a great job for us.
That forced a punt. Crusaders come out on the roll, and Jeremy Warros out of Griffith High gets the pick on the deflection.
Nick didn't square up with his target there, was running sideways through sidearm, and it was knocked down by a lineman.
Good hit by John Palyak in the backfield right there. Stops Dixon for a loss of 2. Now they're going to come out on a 2nd and 9. And Crusaders pick up a sack as Matt Culp, John Palyak in on that play, and that forces a field goal try, which goes wide right. So great stand for the defense after the turnover.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job. They missed a field goal. That could have been a big field goal in this part of the game. So defense, like you said, in the second half really came and rose to the occasion.
Offense didn't move the ball, so comes the defense back onto the field, and a nice play on 1st and 10 by John Harrington.
John had a good game. Had a sack and was always around the football.
And there he is again, very next play. Actually on 3rd down, comes up with a sack from behind. He definitely played one of his finer games on Saturday.
Yes, he did. Really getting emotional there. We needed him to play a little more emotion. It'll make him a better player.
Crusaders put together a drive, 3rd and 6, and a great catch by Darrell Jackson off the deflection to pick up a 1st down.
Outstanding catch, and really there, Nick was 10 for 18 passing, so he did a pretty good job passing. Made a good read on man coverage and went to the underneath route, and we got a 1st down there, key 1st down.
Unfortunately, 4th and 3, and on the fake punt, Nate Boback unable to handle it. He swarmed under, loses a couple yards on the play, and Aurora takes over. Crusaders, though, the defense holds, and here comes Valpo back on the move. There's the throwback to Ozzie Young, who gets right down over the pylon, does not get the touchdown. They mark him down at the 1, and that's unfortunate because the Crusaders fumble again.
Well, we had 12 fumbles in the game, Todd, out of 68 plays. That's 1 every 5.5 plays. We're mishandling the football, and that's not very good.
Defense held, and here's Saul Shaheen with a block punt. And nearly a touchdown for Matt Barker. Ball, though, slid out of bounds at about the 2. And here are the Crusaders with 1st and goal at the 2. And again, unable to get it in. Actually had a couple penalties. And eventually had to try a field goal. And Billy Duke's kick from 34 yards sails wide right. So there we see again, 3 times there inside the 1-yard line, unable to get it in. And again, the defense held. And here's a bad snap to the punter. And Matt Barker drags the punter down again at the 2-yard line. And here you are, 1st and goal to 2 again. Deja vu.
We're trying to score here.
I know you're trying, and eventually you do get it in. Ozzie Young off the right side. You actually put in both John Palyak and Jeff Seymour, and they opened up a hole. Put the defense out on the offensive side.
And they did a great job opening up a hole there. That's our beef offense on goal line, Palyak and Seymour. And they're pretty fired up about being in there, and they did a great job. Seymour especially came in and cleaned out one guy and another guy behind him.
Seymour played some offense in his high school days at Deerfield and actually started as an offensive player at VU when he first came in.
He was a tight end. He's been a free safety. He's been a tight end, and he's finally settled at linebacker. We'll leave him there.
And maybe blocking back.
And maybe blocking back. That's the only change he'll have in the remainder of his career, which is this Saturday, he'll be blocking back. Maybe we'll give him the ball this week.
The extra point gave the Crusaders a 21-10 lead. And Tom Cunningham, Pioneer Football League's Defensive Player of the Week, comes up with an interception and returns it 25 yards.
Yeah, congratulations to Tommy. As we'll see in a few minutes here, or less, his fumble recovery for a touchdown.
Got it down to the 14-yard line. Here come the Crusaders. Guess what? You get inside the 5 again, Coach, and don't score. I hate to remind you of that fact. But we see Mike Orlando run the option. Actually, a quarterback keeper off the left side. Picks up 11 yards. As usual, Mike Orlando, not the usual quarterback mentality. Doesn't want to go down. Moved it down to the 3-yard line. So here we are, first and goal at the 3. And unfortunately, another turnover.
Yeah, Mike pulls out to a quick here on the center. As you can see right there, his elbows come out. We got to ride. In these conditions, we have to do extra to ride the centers, up the center's butt to make sure we take good care of the football.
Defense says if the offense isn't going to do it, we'll do it. Tom Cunningham picks up a fumble, takes it on in from about 3 yards. So the defense figured eventually we'll get in the end zone, first blocking, and then picking up the fumble. And those final 2 scores in the final 4 minutes of the game make that final 28-10, but the game was closer than that, really. Obviously, you had a chance to make it a huge victory, but they were in the football game until the final few minutes.
And they were, absolutely. Obviously, inside the 1-yard line 4 times, we don't score. There's some points we should have had that we didn't get.
Billy Duke does put that one through nicely. 48 seconds on the board, and this one's out of reach, 28-10. They do move down in the heavy rain at Brown Field on the game's final. The heavy rain at Brown Field on the game's final play. I think that's a pass. And Shane Snyder has his 8th interception in the last 7 games. He fumbles. Scott Lasky picks it up, and I'm not sure where he was going with that pitch, but eventually time runs out and the game's over.
Yeah, we need to...
That game that play sort of epitomized the game, didn't it?
Yeah.
The final play?
Yeah, we need to catch that ball in the end zone and take a knee and
the
go to the locker room. Right.
Well, it was wet, and there were a lot of turnovers, but most importantly, the final score showed the Crusaders up 28-10. 6th victory of the year.
Yeah, sometimes there's games you don't deserve to win that you win, and there's games that you play really good, and for some reason you lose the ball game. And I've been on both sides of that fence many times as a head coach, and we got the win, and that's really all that counts. At the end of the year, it's 28-10 VU, and that's all that really matters.
Great job by the defense. Aurora, only 9 first downs, only 148 total yards, and you can see their passing numbers 3 for 19 with 3 interceptions. So the defense, the story on Saturday.
And one-third of their total yards on Saturday came on 1 football play.
Right, right. And the Crusaders mixed it up as usual, and good combination of running and passing in those wet conditions. And Valparaiso gets the 28-10 victory. Elsewhere around the conference on Saturday, we see Butler Falls, but a pretty good performance on the road at an Alabama-Birmingham team, which is solid right now.
Oh, Alabama-Birmingham's a very solid football team. They beat Dayton 28-10 earlier in the year.
Drake continues their winning ways, and Evansville gets on the board with their 3rd victory of the year in a shootout down there.
And from what I understand, it was 30-26 at halftime, and then after halftime, it started raining, and Evansville had to kick a field goal late in the game to win it by 1 point.
Okay, we'll see another win for the Dayton Flyers. They roll, as does San Diego, and another solid week for the conference.
The conference is pretty strong. I know we're going to get the conference standings up here. There they are, and you can look, other than Evansville, in the conference and out of conference play. I mean, it's a solid league, probably the top 1AA non-scholarship league in the nation.
See Butler, they've clinched at least a tie. Dayton can gain a share of the conference crown if they can knock off San Diego on Saturday. We'll talk a little bit more about that coming up later on, but right now let's welcome in our guest. He was Sports Illustrated's Player of the Week just 2 weeks ago. He's in the house, Ozzie Young, and the Oz, welcome. Great to have you in here, and I know you have to feel fortunate about a lot of things, mainly the big numbers you've put up this year. That's got to please you.
Yeah, the Sports Illustrated article, it was pretty good, kind of shocking. Just goes to show that if you go out, give 110% every play, you never know who's watching.
It's such a great honor, Coach, for a player and somebody who has worked pretty hard this year to put up big numbers.
Outstanding. Biggest award a VU athlete's ever received in the history of the school and the history of the athletic department of VU. Outstanding award. That's all Division I schools. That's Notre Dame, Ohio State. That's all those people. That's a great, great award.
Ozzie, you've had the opportunity to get the football more this year, both as a receiver, leading the team in receptions. You've got, especially in the past few weeks, gotten the ball from scrimmage a little more. I'm sure that's something which is pleasing to you. Were there times early in the year where you weren't getting the ball as much, where you told the coach, hey, let me run, let me get the football a little bit more?
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating when you don't get the ball in certain situations where you feel that you want it. But it really didn't matter to me as long as, we were doing the things that it took to win. So.
And Coach, I know you said early in the year that you'd like to get Ozzie the ball as much as possible, and for obvious reasons.
Most definitely. Had a great game against San Diego. Got a little bit of a shoulder bang in that game, and we made a decision to back him off a little bit with the ball there, and then came back after the Drake and Evansville situations where he was National Player of the Week.
I know you said that you'd like to use him more as a receiver, and you really have done that this year. He's now caught over 30 balls, so you've done a good job of getting him the ball more. And I know one play which has been real effective this year has been the screen, and we're going to see the screen play, Oz, which you broke for big yardage on Saturday, and I'll let you describe what the play call was as we take a look at it. Screen to the near side, play call, and what you saw.
It's a 70 double screen. Nick does a good job of getting me the ball right there. Excellent blocking. John Lyon, Kevin McHale.
Yeah.
The seam was there. Just took the seam.
Now, did you think you were going to be in the end zone here?
Yeah. Contrary to belief, I got caught, I guess, but it was a matter of the turf, and guy just took a good angle on me.
Slow footing.
Yeah.
Slow footing on Saturday, right, Coach?
It was faster footing for the other guy, but it was slower for Ozzie.
But, there's a play which I know you got to like running the screen pass, because that allows you to use all your abilities. The vision, Coach talked about the good vision, the ability to get out in the open, break tackles, pick the hole, and then get in the open field, which is obviously something which you like, getting out in the open field, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have to give credit to the offensive line. They do a great job blocking on the screen plays.
Okay. And Coach, one more year with the Oz. I'm sure that pleases you, right?
Well, we'd like 2 or 3 more, but I guess one more we'll have to do, because I know he wants to get his degree and start paying some bills. He's wants to graduate and go on with his career, and we're proud of his accomplishments this year as well as the rest of the teams. The offensive line had an outstanding game on Saturday, graded out well. And we're looking for that same type of performance this week. We'll need it against Kentucky Wesleyan.
Okay, Crusaders close up against Kentucky Wesleyan. And, Coach, what can you tell us about them?
They're a team that had been down for a while. I think they were 1-9 or 2-8 last year, and hired a head coach that came from the Packers organization. He was a special teams coach and tight ends coach for Mike Holmgren up at Green Bay. And so they put an emphasis on the basketball has always been very strong in Kentucky Wesleyan. I think Division II national champs a couple times. Rex Chapman's father was a basketball coach there, and they've had a good basketball, and now they want good football too. And so they've recruited some outstanding athletes as well as junior college kids, freshman kids, as well as junior college kids, and they've got some speed, and we've got to be ready to play.
Okay. Is there a key or two you wanted to touch on?
Kentucky Wesleyan does a great job of throwing the football. They've been averaging up in the upper 2s. They had a 400-yard passing game earlier in the year. They throw the ball really well. They got 2 wide receivers that are very, very fast. They're both only sophomores, and they're grease lightning. They've got a kick return guy that returned 2 kicks past the 50 against Evansville, which hurt them in that ball game. They're a very skill-oriented football team, and we've got to do our job on defense as well as offense, keeping hold of the football and moving the football, moving the chains, and keeping the ball away from Kentucky Wesleyan's offense.
Okay, elsewhere around the conference, the big game will take place on the West Coast, right, Coach?
Yes, Dayton at San Diego. Should have some decent weather out in San Diego this time of year, you would think, although I know California's been hitting with a lot of rain in the last week.
Dayton needs a win to share the conference title with Butler. What do you think?
Oh,
On the spot.
I think Dayton can beat them, most definitely. Although it's a coin toss game. San Diego does a very good job. If San Diego's quarterback is on with his throwing game, then they will beat Dayton. If he's not, then Dayton will win, and we'll get some key turnovers then.
And Drake and Evansville both have good opportunities to close with victories against teams you've faced and beaten this year.
Yeah, St. Ambrose was a good team earlier in the year and has dropped off during the season. And I don't know if they had injuries or they lost that good tailback they had or whatever, but they have not done a great job in the last 3 or 4 weeks. And Evansville should beat Aurora this week.
Crusaders take on Kentucky Wesleyan. We'll see you next week as we show you the highlights of that ball game. We thank Ozzie Young for stopping in. We, as always, thank the coach, Tom Horne. We thank you for tuning in. So long. We'll see you next week on Valparaiso University Football.